Hello and welcome to Showpod. I'm Mr. P with Mr. Dave and Mr. Jethro. We're the Geeky guys, and if you've not already guessed, it's Christmas.
Already?
I know.
Yes.
It's come around so quick
Oh,
this
I mean,
year.
this year's flown, hasn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like July, doesn't it?
If only it was.
Yes.
Most TV shows do that, don't they? They go and do the Christmas special and then go out and have a nice time. Sat in a pub beer garden with a beer, but unfortunately, can't do that because it's freezing outside.
It is. We're filming a little bit closer to Christmas than we did last year and some of the other years.
When did we do it last year?
Well, we did. What did we do? What did we do last year? Was it the year before? I had me sort of picnic set out.
Yeah.
With cheese, biscuits, and
Yeah, you had a little rant
Yeah.
about Putin.
yeah. Well, that's still happening, isn't it?
Careful
Yes.
with that, we'll get
And he's still
cancelled.
alive, so, you know, that's always a bonus. And it means that the KGB just aren't as, as effective as they once were.
Do we really want to start our Christmas special with things
Yeah,
like Putin and the KGB?
Yeah, it's taken a downturn already.
Oh, that went down really quickly.
Well, it can
didn't
only go up from here.
Yeah. So what's happened this year? Well, Trump's president. No, I'll tell you what. Let's just get back to
Right.
Christmas because
Merry
it's Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Christmas.
What gifts have you guys asked for this year for Christmas? What's Santa bringing?
I don't know.
Have you asked for anything specific for Santa? Have you wrote your letter to the North Pole?
No, I haven't.
No?
Have you?
No letters. Nothing too exciting, I don't think. No expensive gadgets or nice toys this year or anything. It'll probably just be clothes and smelly stuff, probably. Reality of life in
socks.
your 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say I'm 43 this year.
Really?
Well, this is going out on Christmas Day, so I will already be 43.
Oh, you don't look it.
Are you being sarcastic?
That could be taken either way, couldn't it?
I'm going to go with thanks very much. I
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's the way I intended it. It did sound, in retrospect, it didn't sound in my head as snarky as it did.
And it came out.
I've gone really boring this year and asked for things like plates and bowls, for the new plates and bowls. For the
Stuff
kitchen.
you will use.
Yeah,
Function.
that's true.
Yeah, which you
presents.
rather get things for Christmas that you would use as opposed to things that you won't.
Yeah, run something that sits in a cupboard gathering dust for the next 12 months. That's never good.
Yes, we are exciting, aren't we? Let's skim past the gifts then, because apart from sock smellers and a few plates, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of excitement there, is there? Unfortunately.
Oh, never mind. What a year! What a geeky year. It's one of those where, at first glance, you're thinking, oh, well, what's happened this year? But when you start going, there's actually been quite a lot.
Well,
That happens every year, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was going to say when I was making the notes and I put together earlier, like you said, you kind of think, what is there going to be to talk about and look back on? And like you're saying, you don't think there's a lot, but then when you start going through, there's quite a lot when you go back to January.
I'd forgot a lot of this that you've put on the list when you put the original list together.
Stuff that, and things as well that came out and you perhaps didn't get the chance to see.
Yeah.
That kind of goes to the back of your mind as well. You get those little ones pop up as well.
What have we enjoyed this year then on TV or film? Because there's been quite a lot actually when we actually went through the list.
Yeah.
Well, how long you got? We can...
Well, we've got a small portion of this video.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a start and just quickly talk Star Trek a minute then, because there's been actually one or two bits for Star Trek out this year.
Yeah, not
So-
Prodigy, because I want to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Not Prodigy. Bless Prodigy. Still not on Paramount, is it?
No. Unbelievable.
What are you doing, Paramount? Everything else is there.
Yeah, the home of Star Trek. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, except that one, because someone at Paramount don't like it.
Yeah. Well,
Terrible.
no, tax reasons.
Yeah, someone at Paramount don't like it.
Yes.
So, Lower Decks, we've got the last series of Lower Decks out at the moment, or coming out. I think is there still a one or two to come out, or has it come out all completely already? Either way, we're about at the end of Lower Decks. I really enjoyed Lower Decks. I did a complete rewatch of Lower Decks recently. It's an animated, but it's for adults, let's be honest. It's so many cameos, just a really great fun series to stick on for an evening and watch. So I really enjoyed that. Discovery ended. Was that early, right at the beginning of this year? Right.
Yeah, it was a bit ago, yeah.
And obviously we've then got the spin-off coming out next year, which is
The old Academy.
Starfleet Academy. Yes, thanks. Yeah. Which has now got Robert Picardo in it, the holographic Doctor, the EMH from Voyager, as an older EMH from Voyager. He's playing the same one, so I assume they've pulled his tech out of mothballs and he's helping. They found him somewhere, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's now going to do something at the Academy with the cadets, which is going to be hilariously funny.
Yeah, it kind of threw us when they first announced him, because we thought, are they gonna set it in like a Picard timeline, in Prime Universe?
I thought that I've said to you, I thought that would be a brilliant idea. You set it in the Picard era, and then you train all the cadets that's going to be the Enterprise with 7 in a new series. That'd be fantastic. Yeah. But no, they're doing it in the future, in Discovery's future.
Well, there's still time to do a series like that.
You could do.
But it's also important to think about that last year we had the strikes between, I want to say, July and November or October, which means that a lot of productions were like put on pause, which means we've probably, let's be honest, had less things released this year.
True.
So we have had a bit of a,
it's catching
I guess
up.
a quiet. It's catching up, yeah.
And then before that, of course, we had COVID, which slowed everything coming out as well.
True, which is just ironic that just as we were starting to get back up to pace, then we had the strikes, which slowed everything down again. So that's another important thing to think about as well. Just keep that in mind.
It does mean going into next year, we've got one or two things that are quite interesting coming out as well. Superman. Let's quickly talk Superman then. Because if I don't talk about it now, I'll end up wanting to talk about it later, and then I'll be on here for 5 hours talking about it. So a couple of things with Superman then. First of all, Superman and Lois, the TV show, has now finished. It's aired in the US. We're still waiting for the last series to air in the UK. But if you find somewhere online to watch it that you really shouldn't, then you can probably watch it. I haven't done that yet. Probably wait for it to come on TV. But
it's been a good show.
Yeah, it has. He's really embodied what Superman is, and his portrayal's up there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so. He's grown into it, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, mega. The new film with James Gunn. The trailer was cut. It was sat on James Gunn's laptop, and then apparently there was a rumour that Warner Brothers were not happy with the trailer. They wanted him to recut and change some bits. I've seen comments online where people have seen it already and said, yes, it's awesome. It gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
As of this recording, it's not yet out. It's imminent. Knowing we'll finish this recording tomorrow. It'll come out.
Yeah, probably.
That's the way of things. But I assume by the time this goes out at Christmas, we will have seen the trailer. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to find out what everybody thinks.
And you might have already given your thoughts by then.
There might already be a video out with me saying either, what are they doing? Or, that is awesome. Yeah. Or, I'm cautiously optimistic. It's probably going to be one of the three.
I think so.
It should be, that looks awesome. Because you should never cut a trailer that someone watches and then comes away thinking, yeah, it looked all right. Because otherwise, it's not done its job, has it?
No.
So we'll see, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing with it.
It's definitely going to be a cinema trip and possibly an IMAX.
I think it's an IMAX for that.
I think so.
Yeah. And now a word about our sponsor. Are you looking to take your business or idea online? Then Namespace has you covered. From personal websites, e-commerce, and fully managed IT services, see what Namespace can do for you today at namespace.rocks. I'll say one more, and then I'll let you guys jump at me with something else.
Yeah,
okay. I keep talking. But this is only a quick little thing, which is the Running Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Running Man. We all love the original with Arnie from was the 80s.
Yes, 1987.
Late 80s, yeah. Should they remake it? They remade Total Recall, and let's be honest, it didn't really do very well.
No, it was...
didn't do bad. Yeah, but it didn't really do very well.
It was, it...
I've only seen clips. I've never seen it all the way through.
Oh, no.
You've watched it, and your recommendation is watch the original.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I would say for the Running Man, that dealt with themes of like game shows and reality shows were a big thing, and it's like, okay, what if we take this a step further and like have people be killed on live TV for entertainment? And thing is, you can still have those similar themes, but with the changed landscape, we have now more You know, instead of having like live TV or reality TV, we now have more internet-based entertainment.
Yeah.
How has that changed society? That is fertile ground for exploration.
Yeah.
So I think it has potential. Whether it will meet that potential, I know. It could crash and burn. It could be absolutely amazing. It's too soon to tell.
And how close will it stick to the original novel as well? That's the other thing.
That is another good question. Again,
Big
too soon
fans
to
of the
tell.
book that will be
Another good
interested
question
in that.
is how much did the original stick to the novel?
Don't know.
Because it may be that this one sticks more to the novel and people don't like it as
Yeah,
much.
I think it did reasonably closely.
Did
I've not seen the original film for a long time, but I think it was reasonably well regarded in terms of being faithful to the
Right.
book.
Okay. We'll have to
Yeah,
see
we'll
that.
see.
I mean, I didn't really want to dwell on it this long, but one thing I liked about it was the fact that it showed you sort of the behind the scenes and the fact that even way in that future, you can't believe everything you see on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just
Yeah.
you can on geeky web shows. That's everything is genuine.
Yes, whatever
Oh.
we show you is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
No sleight of hand here. So yeah, I mean, we've looked obviously 2025. We probably ought to have a look at what we've enjoyed this year. I mean, TV wise, obviously we've carried on with the popular on trend at the moment adaptations from computer games to TV shows and movies. We've had Fallout this year, which finished its first season a few months back. Been very well regarded, got high scores, critics seem to like it, fans seem to like it. And it's one of them where, and it's been the same with a few I've seen recently with these adaptations, where they've not stuck too much to the game.
Right.
They've actually expanded on the world that the game created and expanded on the material that was already there and the characters and kind of complemented it. And I think that's why some of these more modern adaptations have worked better, because they've took more time with them, they've added more to the worlds that were already there and fleshed them out a bit. Whereas I think before they probably tried to keep too faithful to the original material.
That being said,
it's nice that they do
Yeah.
that, because otherwise, does it not get a bit boring because you already know what's coming because you've seen the game?
depends.
Needs to be a good mix.
Because
Yeah.
Borderlands was, that bucked the trend of there being more positive video game adaptations by being terrible.
Right.
Just what you need. But then again, The Last of Us was very faithful to the game.
Yeah.
And that ended up being more well received. So, maybe
Do you not
there's...
give things away though when you're watching it? Is it one of those shows where you sat there and you know that, for example, the lead character is going to break his arm at some point? Because it happens in the game, it's a big plot point, and he gets a robotic arm. So all the way through, you're now thinking, oh, when's he going to break his arm?
Well, that being said, it's like, what if you've read the book of a film that's been adapted from a book? And you're like, okay, yeah, this thing's going to happen, this thing's going to happen. I wonder if this thing's going to happen. Yeah, that thing has happened. Is that not the same?
It is, I suppose, which is what I'm saying. Why? So when Dave said they expanded and went a little bit wider than just the source material, would it not make a nice twist on it so that people don't really know what's going to come? I don't know.
Possibly.
Elements of that. It can work both ways.
I say that.
You need to make a good film, first and foremost. You can't just worry about pleasing the fans if the film is bad, because that's just like polishing a turd.
Oh, we could talk about that all the time. Not
yeah.
specifically polishing a turd, but making things for the fans. We have numerous conversations where we think, wouldn't it be great if? And then we come back to, yeah, but probably wouldn't work, would it? We just...
Yeah, it can be done, but we never stop to think, should we?
Very deep.
Mr. Jethro is quite famous.
Yeah, if there's the
do
spectrum.
they really need to do that? That's
Yeah.
Does it really need to happen? Do we need to?
There's
see
the
that?
spectrum where you two are more like, yeah, but wouldn't it be good if we have this series that's a spin-off with this character and we see them do this, or we tell the origin story of this one, and just think, and I'm just sit there like, but do we need it?
Yeah.
Because, like you say, if it's a prequel to a character that we already know, like their origin story, again, you know what's going to happen. So why watch it again?
Yeah,
Well,
to stick
I'll say
in
that.
canon, it's got to get to a certain point, and then things are going to go away that are predicted.
Yeah, not
aren't they?
saying it can't work. Like Better Call Saul was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And there were some parts of it that no one saw coming. But again, that built on the material.
Yeah, and maybe did that work because, not that Saul Goodman was not a big character, but because he wasn't one of the main two characters, he had a lot more that was unsaid about him, so you could fill those gaps in.
True. And then again, you watch the first episode, and you see glimpses of Saul Goodman, because at the beginning, his real name's Jimmy McGill. And you just see him at the beginning, and you see glimpses of his character, but he's not that character. He's different. So it's the transition between that character and that character. How does Jimmy McGill become Saul Goodman? And you see plenty of characters that you don't see in Breaking Bad, and then you think, I like this character, but I'm a bit tepid about your fate. Like, are you going to survive till the end? And
that's good because there's that unknown, which is what we said earlier.
Yes.
That unknown's important.
Yes.
They're doing NCIS. We're doing an origin story. Young Gibbs, isn't it? That might be interesting, but I'm more interested to see the Tony and Ziva series that's coming out, because that's obviously set afterwards, and what have they done once they left the office, because that's all unknown. So for me, I think I would rather go forwards than go backwards.
Fair enough. That's why people want Star Trek series set in the Picard era. But anyway, talking about prequels.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I said all this about the origin stories of characters. Now I'm going to go back on my word on that. Right.
There's always an exception to the rule, and this is it.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
It's all right when I like a prequel.
Of course.
Yeah. Furiosa. Now, that is a prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, following the story of Furiosa. And that didn't do too well at the box office. Not a lot of people went to see it. But the few people who did see it really, really liked it. So it's one of those. Now, the issue with that is it should have came out 2 years after Fury Road. The issue with that is you had 5 years of legal battles between George Miller and Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers wouldn't pay him what he was owed. And then you had 2 years of COVID. And then you had 2 years to make the film. So it's like 9 years later, probably 7 years too late.
Yeah.
6 or 7 years too late.
Makes sense.
And by then, people are less hungry for more Mad Max, which is unfortunate, because I think Furiosa was great, and you guys haven't seen it, have you?
No.
So
No,
I can't
But
bounce.
the Mad Max series isn't something that I'm that into.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've not really watched it. That doesn't mean you're putting it on the list. I think if there's one thing from this year I can definitely say is that you guys have made me watch things that I've not watched. So as we've done an episode of Showpod and I've said, I've not seen that, you've gone, ooh. And then all of a sudden within a few weeks we have a DVD night and it's like, oh, we're going to watch, and then I end up watching it.
Yeah, we'll just give you a choice of things you probably won't pick and the things we want you to pick.
Yes.
Just to give you the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite well.
But to be fair, it's for me it's been quite fun because I've managed to watch a few things that I've not. Well, I watched The Matrix, which I haven't seen for a long, long time. I'd never seen Alien, and you guys made me watch that.
No, that was Gav.
Well, yeah, but you kind of initiated me
I just
wanting to
watch
watch
it.
it. So I ended
So
up
not
going
just
over,
on 2 fronts, but on 3
no,
fronts.
on 3 fronts. Gav from the channel Gift of the Gab, Gift of the Man Caves and Margaritas, even his own page is Gift of the Gav. He Gav came over and I went over to his movie room and we watched that, and he that was really good. I really enjoyed it. So he now wants me to watch all of them. So I'll be going back over there to watch the rest. We did actually have Gav over on our show. We watched the film Upgrade.
Yes.
And then he came to talk about that, which was another fun film. Not from this year or last year, but it was,
yeah, but it was new to us.
It was new to us. That was good.
Yes.
And then Babylon 5. No, not Babylon 5.
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar
There we
Galactica.
go.
Thank you.
Yes, which is 21 years old now.
Yeah, this is the remake of Battle, not the original.
They reimagined, as
Yes.
they prefer to call it, yeah.
Which we just started to watch, and I've watched for the first time.
Yes.
And it's.
Was it your
it's quite
first
good.
time as well?
I'd started watching the first episode years ago, and then never went back to it, just because other stuff got in the way.
The thing that got me was the fact there was this like pilot series that was a 2-part, 2-film sort of thing that came before the series starts, which I'd not seen. So I obviously started watching the first episode and got a little bit lost with where everything was. You then came, Jethro, with your wonderful set of discs and said, no, you need to watch this one first. And then we were like, that makes sense now. So, that'll be one to carry on. That was quite good.
Yeah, we got you to watch Blade Runner as well, didn't we?
Yes.
That and 2049.
And 2049,
both of them, yeah.
Which you have said your opinions on a Showpod episode we have done previous.
Yeah. Refer to that.
What else have you seen this year?
Well, I think we probably ought to nudge you, as Mr. Peace just mentioned it, about Alien. Your thoughts on Alien Romulus?
Oh, yeah, Alien Romulus, yeah. It's, came out, I think, August. That was, it was quite enjoyable. It's what it was. It was like tepid on, cautiously optimistic. But no, it was alright. Really liked it. And, seeing it in IMAX as well, like, the audio has a way of making you feel it in your chest. Which for a film that has aliens that burst out of your chest, I think is a...
very apt.
Very apt, yes.
Rank the bass up high so it gets you.
Yes, yeah. But no, it was great. Love it.
Yeah, I think from probably a couple of niggles, it was a good effort, wasn't it? It's one of the better ones, probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like perfect or on par with the first two, but it's better than, say, Alien 3.
Okay.
Yeah, probably just about. Going back to TV this year, then we ought to talk about The Boys. This is something which I think you'd like, but you've not seen it yet.
No, the way I understand it is it's sort of like superhero. They've got superhero powers, but they don't always have all the morals that superheroes have. Is that right?
Kind of. It's on Prime, and it's more a kind of reflection on politics, media, and social media today. So that's kind of the backdrop of it. And the basic premise of it, if other people haven't seen it, it's basically superheroes are like grown in the lab. So they're not basically like Superman, they come to Earth or an alien. It's actually they're making superheroes.
Right.
And then they're marketing them and like trying to get so many likes and like get popular. And like you've got certain people that want to become president have got like their superheroes that are backing them, and others are supporting another runner, and like they don't do any proper. Very rare that they do any real actual saves. They're all kind of faked in like the film studio. So and like they sell the films as well. So they fake these saves and like sell them as like a series of superhero films, and every superhero's got their own set of films, and they're all kind of like morally messed up, like I said earlier, and not the people you would want to give superpowers to, like the worst people you could give superheroes to.
So is it like, say, a certain politician going into McDonald's for a photo shoot, and that? Is it that type of fake?
Yeah, it's got that kind of feeling about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's by Eric Kripke as well, who obviously worked on Supernatural for many years, or handing over. He bought the last season. We're on season 4 now. Last season, he bought Jensen Ackles in as one of the main characters, short term. He's also on about in the next series possibly bringing Jared Padalecki in as well in some capacity.
Well, he's not doing Walker Texas Ranger anymore, is he?
That's cancelled. No, it's cancelled, unfortunately. Yeah, but he's like slowly bringing like little supernatural elements in. Bobby Singer, plays the president as well.
Right.
So it's quite nice, and obviously there's a lot of dark humour in there as well. There is a bit of an arc all the way through with one of the characters.
I think I'm going to have to watch this. I think I'm going to have to watch it.
So it's a good fun series, and it's kind of like twisted superheroes pretty much. But that's obviously another season's been greenlit. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets a few more. It always keeps getting high ratings.
Yeah.
Didn't it get a spin-off, Gen V?
Yes, it did. Yeah, it's about a spin-off as well. So yeah, that's doing really well. So yeah, if you've not seen it, that's definitely worth checking out.
We'll have to do
I always got put off by it because the main character reminded me of a couple of people who are probably some of the more insensitive people I know, while also being incredibly sensitive themselves. It's like they're quite like rude and abrasive to other people, but when it comes to anything slightly brushes against them as an affront to their eminence, and they just have a complete meltdown. And yeah, that's one reason why it puts me off, because it reminds me of people I know in real life that I don't like.
Yeah,
Which is
I
probably
think
a
that's
good
kind
thing
of
on
the
them.
idea in
Yeah.
a way, because it's they're not supposed to be superheroes
Yeah.
that you like. I mean, as the series goes through, there are like some little redemption arcs here and there with certain ones, but generally speaking, they're not supposed to be like.
See, that is the one thing that's putting me off there, which I can't fault the the makers for making a dislikable character, and for me just turn around and be like, oh, I don't like him. Because that's them doing their job, and that's them working.
It's one of those questions, though, where everyone throughout all of time, well, since 1938, have said, what happens if you get a superhero like this and they're not good? And they've just answered that question in their own way. Well, this is what it is.
What happens if you get superhero powers developed in a lab and it gets out of hand? And
they kind of did it with Hancock, didn't they, a little bit, with Will Smith, but he kind of redeemed himself at the end
and
of the
with
film.
the movie Brightburn as well, didn't it? Which was kind of like the evil Superman, wasn't it?
Story, yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to take a short break from looking at these, because it's time to go over to our quiz corner.
Oh, yeah.
We are currently neck and neck
in the quiz. That's
which was, I think I said this on the last Showpod, this was not done by design. It literally happened that we're neck and neck.
Yeah, it's currently like you've won 7, you've won 7.
Yeah,
So-
7 each. We're going into the 8th. This is the final of the quizzes. The loser has to do a forfeit. Let's find out what happens.
Yes, if after this you two get a draw, I'm going to be...
extremely annoyed. Mildly perturbed.
So question number 1. In The Matrix, what is Neo's full name?
Oh, that's so annoying. We all watched this just a few weeks ago.
Is it Thomas something?
Thomas what?
No, it's not that. Yeah, I can't think of the surname.
Really? You got Thomas,
Yeah,
but you didn't get the surname?
I wouldn't have even got that.
Thomas Anderson.
There we go.
It was in there somewhere.
I
Of
was
course, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you got the first name, but not the last name.
yeah.
That's
Mr. Anderson.
question number 2. On what date is Captain Picard Day?
Oh, I'm so going to get absolutely bullied for this, for not getting this afterwards. Can we go closest date gets it?
Go on.
March 13th.
July 27th.
It is June 16th.
I thought it was June or July. I remember saying a J on the poster, but I forget which one was closest.
You were.
You said March.
That's it, March.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier for some reason.
That means by sheer dumb luck and default, I got the Star Trek question right. That's all right then.
Question number 3. Which official James Bond film released the same year as Never Say Never Again?
View to a Kill.
No.
Is it For Your Eyes Only?
No.
Ah!
Live and Let Die.
No.
No, it's not Live and Let Die. That's the first one. I used to think it was the first one, but it's not. It's one of the others.
Go on, it's free for all now. I'll give you guys...
Stop getting Bond
Wrong.
I'll give you one more chance.
One more each.
One more each.
The Spy Who Loved Me.
No.
Moonraker.
No. It was Octopussy.
Really? It was that late?
1983.
Oh, I didn't want to got that. I didn't think it was that late.
No.
Question number 4. Who played Judge Dredd in 2012's Dredd?
Sylvester Stallone.
No.
Oh,
Because it's the remake, the later one.
Carl Urban.
Yes. Question number 5. When is Mr. Jethro's birthday?
Oh, crap. Oh, God. We're in trouble now.
You should probably know more than me.
Oh, yeah, I know, but no. I completely got out of my head.
Is it closest gets it?
It's going to have to be now, isn't it?
I can't believe I'm going to have to guess. Okay, closest first. I'm going to guess April 25th.
June the 6th.
It is August 14th. Question number 6. What is the name of the android in Alien?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Oh, we watched this again recently, and it's a film that I've never watched Alien all the way through properly. So you guys forced me to go and watch it.
We watched it with Gav, didn't you?
I watched it with Gav from Gift of the Gav, and it was. In fact, it was on one of our podcasts not long back. One of our Showpods not long back. But yeah, I went to his cinema room and watched it. So I should know the name, but again, it's gone completely out of my head. Can't remember.
I'm getting a blank as well.
I know.
Really bad.
Ash.
Well, it was an A. Can't remember what it was.
I don't know. I'm going to just say Marv at laugh, but I'm...
Okay, question number 7. Which actor had a starring role in both Star Trek, a Star Trek series, and a Stargate series?
Connor Trenier.
No.
John Billingsley.
No.
You can see where I'm going with that.
Yeah, he did guest star in SG-1. The answer is Robert Picardo. Obviously being in Voyager, but he, as well as having guest stars, he then became a permanent fixture in Atlantis' 5th season.
Oh, okay. What year was that then made?
2008.
Oh, so it was way after Voyager.
Oh, yeah. Question number 8. Who played Dracula in 1931's Dracula?
I don't know. I was going to say Christopher Lee, but I think he's too... I'm surely he's too... Yeah, he was too young for him, weren't it? It was too early.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Palance?
No. There's a Bela Lugosi.
Oh, name rings a bell. I won't be able to picture him, but his name rings a bell. He's done quite a bit of horror type stuff, hasn't he?
Okay, question number 9. The movie Contact is based on a book written by who?
I was going to say Colin... What's his name? Colin... I can't pronounce
Colin.
I can't pronounce his second name, so I'm going to forget it. I don't know. If it's Colin somewhere now, I'm really going to be annoyed. I can't pronounce it. I can't even see it. I cannot. It's like it's there, but it's veiled. I just can't get his second name because it's a weird spelling.
It's not.
It's not him?
No.
Right, okay. That's put me out of my misery.
Go on, Dave.
Asimov?
Nope. Okay, it was Carl Sagan.
I thought you'd have said that.
Old ones, yeah. I'm thinking that far back. Yeah.
Okay, question number 10. What was Will Smith's character in Men in Black?
Agent K?
No.
Oh! Okay. Damn.
Go on, Dave.
Damn!
Agent Smith?
No.
Oh, can they go back to me?
Yeah.
Agent J.
Yeah.
I thought, because it was JK, I just assumed J was the older guy that was there first, and K came afterwards. What's it? Tommy Jones, whatever his name is.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. But yeah, I got the letters wrong way around. Got it in the end.
Yeah, you know what? Good.
Did that 10 questions?
Yes.
This was a tiebreaker.
So.
Should have been taking this way more seriously.
Mr. P walks away with 2 points. Mr. Dave walks away with 3.
I only just.
Oh, by 1 point. It was close.
What a series. You do realise that this means now I've got to do a forfeit.
Oh,
yes.
dear. Yes, you have.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
I lost by 1 question. Just point that out. The entire lot, I lost by 1 question, which is really annoying.
Yeah, it's been the way it's been all the way through, really, hasn't it? It's been quite close.
Which means,
well
done,
Dave.
Congratulations, Mr. Dave. You are the Geeky Guys Showpod quiz winner for 2024.
I mean, but still.
And I must confess, I was going to get you a little trophy, and I completely forgot all about it. So I will.
You can be bothered, could you?
I will sort that for you for next year.
Lovely.
So when I have to do my forfeit, I will use that as an opportunity to hand over your trophy as the
Right.
winner for this series. So
Do we know what the forfeit is?
No, we don't. We never really
okay.
talked about it because I just didn't think I was going to lose. So
That being said, if you have any suggestions there at home,
absolutely, yeah.
make sure they're legal and
Yeah. I'm not going to be running through town naked, so none of that nonsense.
And nothing that leads to fatality.
No,
that either. Yeah.
no. So if you've got suggestions for the Mr. P forfeit,
Get them in.
get them in. Send us a message on any social media platform, hashtag Mr. P forfeit, and tell us what you think it should be.
So then, what else have we enjoyed this year?
Deadpool Wolverine.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I didn't watch it at the cinema. I waited until it came on Disney Plus to watch it, just because I missed it at the cinema. But I watched that recently, actually, a couple of weeks or two back. In fact,
we all
watched it. Yeah, we all watched it. I loved it. So funny.
It's kind of one of them event movies, wasn't it, with Wolverine coming back.
I mean, look,
Maybe
I'm not going to say it's like, Oscar-winning writing, okay?
No.
But it never pretends to be.
No, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's a fun, feel-good movie that pokes fun at itself constantly and other things.
A fun romp.
And the thing is, you don't know what's going to happen from one scene to the next, quite literally. Just brilliant. And a Henry Cavill cameo.
Yeah, so it was good fun.
Which is funny, and an inside joke there about Paramount dropping him. Warner Brothers dropping him, which is quite funny. As Superman, but never mind.
Yeah, it was quite good. So going back to Star Trek then.
Yes.
Obviously we've had Prodigy Season 2. I don't think you've started that yet, have you?
No, I haven't. I'm always
you haven't
behind.
watched it.
Not yet.
So I won't say too much, but what I will say is that it leans more into the continuation of Voyager. It hints at things that happen in Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. The whole question about where was Janeway during all of that, Admiral Janeway, and it kind of answers that. So that was a really nice element about it. Obviously we've got some legacy cast, a couple of them returning in Season 2, which is really nice. There's also like a couple of nice throwaway comments from Kate Mulgrew from Janeway about other Voyager crew. So yeah, it's really nice. I don't want to spoil who's in it or like too much about plot, but there's three cameos. There is another one actually. It was a good surprise one, and it carries on basically from the end of last series. Time travel's involved as well. And yeah, I think it's right up there. And like we said earlier, I think it's a really bad thing that it's not on Paramount. Why they've not put it on there and let Netflix pick it up, I don't know.
Yeah, so you said tax. What was the thing about tax? Is that something you know?
It's something that a lot of them do. Like Warner Brothers are prolific for it. With was it Supergirl? Was it and the Wile E. Coyote film? So films that have been completed. Finished?
It was a Batgirl.
Right, I know. Right. Well, one of them anyway. Either way, it's not released. So
no, they filmed the entire thing.
They filmed it, so that means they can write off everything they spent on that film as a loss, which means they have to pay less tax. And yeah, it's stupid. Stupid.
Well, there you go. It's stupid.
It
really is.
And they wonder why Warner Brothers is going down the toilet. Come on,
why?
no one wants to work with you. Christopher Nolan doesn't want to work with you. George Mill had to sue you to get his money that they owed him.
They're not winning any popularity contests at all.
Yeah, 10 years ago they were like the studio for the creative, and now that's gone down the toilet, and it shows no sign of coming back.
They've got Harry Potter coming out as a TV series because obviously Warner Brothers does Harry Potter, so that's interesting. The casting at the minute for that.
What, another retelling?
It's a TV series and it's a reboot of Harry Potter.
Of course it is.
So they've realised they need to try and bring something out that made money and try and make more. And that's one of the first things they've done. Obviously, with Superman coming out next year, they'll have other projects as well that he's got in the pipeline.
They could just release stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would help. That would help.
I mean, at least Paramount is bringing, and CBS are bringing out Star Trek shows. It's not like, you know, and fair enough, it still got made, Prodigy Series 2.
Yeah.
And it did get put on Netflix and someone picked it up, thankfully.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if that goes on and gets more popular and we get views on that, we don't need to watch it.
Yeah.
Then who knows?
In fact, it probably helped it in some ways because more people have got Netflix than have got Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So it probably introduced a whole new audience to it anyway. So it's probably a good thing in the end.
That's not a bad thought.
Or what if Paramount just all of a sudden decided to unrelease The Next Generation? Just for tax.
Well, wasn't there a thing where they just didn't put one series on? Was it one of Enterprise's series?
Yeah, that
Enterprise
rings a
Series
bell,
5
yeah.
or something. They just didn't put that on. Everything else was on Paramount Plus except for Enterprise Series 5.
Yeah, I remember something
Wait.
like that.
Or 4. Series 4.
Not
And
sure.
it's on there
Rings a bell,
now, I
yeah.
think, but I thought at one point that you didn't put it
It
on.
wasn't on there, yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
So next year, what else? What else do we have? We have the Minecraft movie, looks pants. We've also got Tron Ares, which
that'll be interesting.
I am actually looking forward to.
Okay.
Now, I say this because years ago I was just flicking through like channels randomly and I came across Tron Legacy. Didn't know what it was, but I just watched it. It was beautiful. It was absolutely enamouring, and I've really enjoyed it. And I went to see the original, and the original gave me a headache because of the rudimentary CGI.
Right,
Really didn't. It did a number.
It's an acquired taste, isn't it, the original, in terms of effects?
I mean, I was enjoying the story, but the visuals, I just couldn't watch it without feeling like I was having a migraine. Then again, Tron Ares, I think will be, I hope it's going to be really good. Like Daft Punk did the soundtrack to Legacy, fantastic. They used it for car adverts for 5 years afterwards. Every single, half the car adverts afterwards had to have that soundtrack. Nine Inch Nails are now doing the soundtrack to Tron Ares because Daft Punk obviously disbanded in 2022. And I absolutely love the music of Nine Inch Nails. So, you know.
I did not know that.
What?
That you like the music of Nine Inch Nails.
Well, didn't you?
No.
Oh, what you do now?
I do now.
Huh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
also have Blade Runner 2099 and Alien Earth, which are series based on those film series. And you know what? Cautiously optimistic. It seems to be some good people behind it. But I've been burnt before. I've been hurt before. I have learned to be cautious.
he takes his films very seriously, doesn't he? Dave?
Yes, it does.
What do you mean takes his films very seriously? You're saying that I take this seriously? Really?
Just while he's put off, Superman, a Christopher Reeve story. Just quickly mention that because you want to quickly get that in. So obviously that was released recently, sort of the end of this year. I've not watched it yet. It only had certain releases at the cinema. It's coming out on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's very, very minimal release at the cinemas, wasn't it? And then it's going to be on Prime and Apple TV, I think, and it on purchase only.
It's which is coming out soon. Well, either
this month. I
this
think.
month.
Yeah, I think
so I'll probably get around to watching it in January, I guess. But I watched the trailer and oh my god, I was welling up. So
Takes his films very seriously, doesn't he?
I take my Superman very seriously.
Right. Okay.
So that's going to be.
That's going to be an emotional,
interesting to
good
talk
watch.
about afterwards when we've all
and
watched
talk
it.
about it as well after. So just in terms of movies from this year, obviously we've had Dune Part 2, continuation of the story of Paul Atreides and Harkonnens and that lot. Enjoyed it, not perhaps quite the ending I was expecting, but very good still. And obviously they've got the Dune TV series, haven't they, which has come out towards the end of this year. Dune Prophecy. I've not seen it yet.
Have you seen it?
But I'm going to have a look at that and see what that's like. That's a prequel, isn't it? Set so many years before Dune 1 with the Bene Gesserit bloodline.
You've got to be so careful when you do
Should be
that.
interesting.
you just go back and say we're going to do it right at the beginning, because you kind of you've got all this lore already in place, which you've got to stick to, and you've got to be really careful what you do. And again, I think to a point, there's a part of like what Jethro says. Do you really need to do that?
That's true. Yeah. We've had Transformers 1, which I must admit, when they first kind of announced it, I was a bit like, I'm not sure about that. Oh dear. They had a whole event that I watched one afternoon where they launched a satellite with like a screen attached to it, an LCD screen with like the Autobots logo on the back, and it was going to be like, I don't know if it's like the first trailer to be played in space, playing in Earth orbit. And I watched that, and then they played the trailer, and I was like, oh dear, oh no. And I think it's because it's kind of obviously a bit of a kids' film.
Yeah.
It seems like it's made for younger kids, so not like the original fans of the show, the G1 and the Michael Bay stuff. But from what I've heard from people that have seen it, it does get better as it goes on, and the characters do develop, and it does have some highlights. I might have to have a look at that at some point.
So, Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning, just very quickly. So, obviously, part one of the two-part that we've had this year was a really good film. I enjoyed it. It didn't quite do as well as the box office that I think they wanted it to, even though it did do really well. So, I think now they're going to make this next one, the final one, which is called the Final Reckoning. Right. I think Tom Cruise has now finally said this will probably be the last
His last one.
Unless it does really well at the box office.
Unless it does really well. Unless, as long as they make it so he's alive at the end, that'll be the thing. Kill him off, then they're definitely not doing any more. If they keep him alive, then they're obviously thinking, well, we might do another one in a few years' time if people want to. So we'll see what the ratings are.
Son of Hawk. Yeah, we've got some good TV next year as well. We've got season 5 of Stranger Things, which may potentially be the last one. The stars in it are like no longer teenagers anymore. They're all getting quite a bit older now.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be good again. That's going to be highly anticipated. Probably going to be Halloween time next year when that comes out. We've got Daredevil Born Again, which is going to be really good. Obviously, we really enjoyed the first series of that, like on Netflix in the day. We've got Ironheart coming out, which is the continuation of Iron Man's legacy with the female superhero that builds her own Iron Man style suit. And we've got continuation of the It series of films as well, where it's going to be a prequel before the original 79 movie.
Again with the prequels.
So that'll be interesting, a bit more Pennywise.
Question, anything that isn't a prequel, sequel, remake or spin-off on the lists?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, in terms of movies next year, we've got Captain America Brave New World.
That's a sequel. That's a Captain America.
Yeah, I don't think
an original.
There's not a lot. They're doing a Snow White Disney live action, which is a remake, but that's going to be interesting because there's been a lot of politics around that behind the scenes. Yeah. So we'll see what they do with that. It's going to be interesting.
So you mentioned The Running Man.
We mentioned that earlier, didn't we?
That's
again,
a remake.
Now You See Me 3 again is continuation. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, they're usually good movies.
I'm not saying this to be like a Scrooge or anything.
The Naked Gun remake, just quickly with Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's one of those things where you say, how can you possibly do something? How can Frank Drebin be done by anyone other than Leslie Nielsen? But then you look at Liam Neeson and you think, he might be all right, actually. That might be all right. So I think it's...
It's good at the deadpan, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's going to be all right.
I think that'll work.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that.
We've got Ballerina, the John Wick prequel. We can imagine that'll be decent, seeing as how all the John Wick films have been decent. The Continental series was reasonably good once it got going. We've got another superheroes movie in Thunderbolts, which is more along the line of like unexpected... Anyway, superheroes come together and save the day, Suicide Squad-esque. And we've got, on the back of the success of Cobra Kai, we've got the Karate Kid Legends movie as well.
Yeah.
Which is going to be.
Is that? Am I right in saying that Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan are both?
Jackie Chan. Yeah.
They're both teaming up to go in it. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're both together in it, and I think the family member of Will Smith that was in was it Jaden Smith that was in the Karate Kid film a few years ago. I think he's due to be in it as well.
Oh right, that'd be interesting. Okay.
Right, so what about things that we have like either seen, watched, that played this year that isn't necessarily new but it's new to us?
Well, we talked earlier about some of the things you've been making me watch. Well, making me watch.
Gun to your head.
Yeah,
watch this.
That's it.
Be like Alex DeLarge in Clockwork Orange. Just have your eyes like wide open with us like periodically like dripping on your eyes.
I've just done I'm in the middle of a rewatch through the remake of Hawaii Five-0. Now I've never seen the original, and the remake came out. Well, they did 10 series of it.
2010.
Yeah, and they did 10 series of it, and we talked a long time ago about some remakes because they did Magnum PI. They've done, and MacGyver was really good with Lucas Till. That was a nice little reimagining of it. This Hawaii Five-0 is a nice reimagining of it. So I think I might go back and rewatch the Magnum stuff again.
Yeah,
the remake.
that'll be worth doing.
I think.
You two late last year got me onto Fortnite.
We did.
Yes, which I have become a bit of an addict. Yeah, which I think it's fair to say I take it a bit seriously.
You know what? There was a time when you first came on, and I'd get a bit annoyed when we're on the game. Now you've way surpassed me.
Like annoyance.
Yeah, yeah. I just should point out that Fortnite for me and Dave was a bit of a lifeline during COVID. So that's why we started watching playing it in the first place. Yeah. Because it was something we could just jump online, have a good conversation while we were running around the island and playing the game. It was more for the social catch-up, weren't it, Dave?
Yeah.
Than actually playing the game. And obviously we've
sometimes interrupted by someone shooting at you.
Yeah, occasionally. And then we just game end them. And then that's...
Eliminate them all.
Yeah. And obviously, for geeky fans like us, they chucked things like the Star Wars stuff in there, Marvel stuff in there. So it's always been quite fun to see what they're going to do next and have a play. And we don't really take it too seriously overall. I think you can get a little bit invested in the game sometimes. And we do. There are times where we do get annoyed at each other and shout at each other a little bit.
Some people do more shouting than others.
They do. And who's started to do that more than others, Jethro?
Sometimes one of the worst things is just a long sigh.
Yeah,
I need you here right now. There's someone shooting at me.
Yeah,
That's right.
but for me, I find
all
it
the way
very.
Over there in 1 second. You're gonna have to wait till we get.
I'm dying, I'm dead.
He's wandered off again, hasn't he? Yes.
See, there's the social connection, yes, but there's also the cathartic nature of
winning the game.
Game ending and young children.
And getting the victory crown, of course.
Oh yeah,
it's all about the bling.
But yeah, with that, like, sort of like got more of a taste for games, especially shooters. So I eventually played like the Half-Life series.
Yeah.
I didn't start with Half-Life. I started with the remake Black Mesa.
Right.
Because it's a bit easier on the eyes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then I went on to Half-Life 2. Absolutely brilliant. Went back to the original Half-Life. Yeah, that's great. Now I'm playing for all the expansions and that. I've also played the remake of the original 3 Spyro games, the Reignited trilogy. Now that brought back a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of the old Spyro things. Even in like its remade glory, that looks fantastic. Or remade in the Unreal Engine.
I love it when you find an old game and play it. I mean, you Jethro very kindly gifted me the Half-Life series of games this year, towards the end of this year.
Yeah, because it was the 20th anniversary of Half-Life 2, yeah.
And so you bought them for me on Steam, and I did start playing the original Half-Life. Oh my god, nostalgia. That took me right back. Love it, absolutely love it. In fact, a year or two ago, actually, I started playing Monkey Island.
Yeah, I did as well, yeah.
And on the new disc that you get, you've got like they've redone all they've rebought the original game out, but it's all updated graphics
and stuff. Yeah.
But there's a mode you can put on to play the original graphics. So I was playing the original Monkey Island with the original, like 1993, whatever it was, 95, graphics, that took me back. And we're talking point and click here.
Yeah.
You know, walk to, press the button, and he walks to it. Oh, that was really
And I
good
quite
fun.
enjoyed the sequel, or not sequel, but the new Monkey Island game they did as well, which was very much for fans of the old one. A lot of the things were exactly the same. There's a lot of nice Easter eggs and things in there, so that was a nice one to play through and go through stuff from all the old games.
We've spent a lot of time this year actually playing games.
Yeah, how many hours have you, Dave, been playing on Fortnite?
Yes, we talked about this the other day, the other night, didn't we?
How many?
One or two.
Yeah, there's a 6 in it and there's 3 digits.
Okay.
All right.
Does it give you a stat of your continuous gameplay time on the app?
I don't know if it does on
Xbox?
Fortnite. On mine, it was on the Microsoft Xbox, like your year in review, like say what you played and how long and stuff.
It's very rare that we don't go through a week, or this year we haven't gone through a week, all of us pretty much, where we haven't been on at least 2, maybe 3 nights a week, and it's normally a several hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
screen time.
it's a very good like release just before bedtime. But then again, like it's also probably not the best thing to be playing before
And
bedtime.
then we're in the extended universe as well, because we've got Explosive Wars and Crazy Red versus Blue as well, haven't we? Hey.
And now Fortnite
Well,
OG.
Fortnite OG
Yes.
as well, yeah.
Yes, which
going on.
is coming out as a recording today,
Yes.
which might not be out yet unless it is.
I did
Comes out today, I think.
load up earlier when we were in pre-prep for this, and when I went back to look, I think it had updated, so hopefully it'll be all right. Guess what we're doing tonight, lads?
Hey.
One thing I've just remembered, it's just popped into my head, and
Yes.
you're like this.
Go on.
What we haven't mentioned, we've also got coming out in the summer, Wednesday season 2.
Yes, that's not on
Continuation
any
of
of
the
the
Addams
lists, is
Family
it?
spin-off.
Yes, it's
and-
Netflix, isn't it?
Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
great.
the first series was awesome.
Yeah,
In fact,
really good.
talking about it, Beetlejuice did Beetlejuice not
2
two
came out.
came
yeah,
out as
Michael
well.
Keaton.
Just
we know the writer
talking
all that a lot.
Jenna Ortega. 'Cause
Not seen it, but
no, but
I'm
apparently
watching it. At
the
some
reviews
point.
for that were quite good.
But Wednesday's Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
And season 2 is coming out.
Yes, next year.
So when's season 3 coming out?
Don't know, but I'm
don't know yet.
assuming
Or is it not?
it's Netflix, so we'll see. But
Yeah.
if it's as good as series 1 or gets as good as the reception is as good,
It depends
I
on
think-
how the story develops and what
Yeah.
extra characters they're brought in and
Also, it depends on like their tax records as well. Let's not
yes,
forget.
probably. It's all about the tax. All about the tax.
Yeah.
all about the money. I think it's every chance that it'll get greenlit for a series 3. If series 2,
I
is good as well.
am looking at Netflix's record.
If series 2 gets as good a reception as series 1,
Hate the OA.
I think.
What happened to that? Mindhunter. What happened to that? Space Force. What happened to that? Yeah.
Yeah, but are they on the same level?
Well. Yeah. Well, I would say that because I'm biased, but
Well, I mean, we'll see, won't we? You know, this time next year, when we're doing the Christmas special in 2025, and we're saying, well, Wednesday got relit for 3 and 4, and then it'll be
is
like,
that really?
and then hang on, Jess, I've got a plate here and a knife and a fork just for you to you're gonna eat your words. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, and also see what news comes out about the new Harry Potter content as well. I did see a thing today where they have started rumoured casting a few roles.
Yes, I said earlier they've been
Yeah.
casting. Snape was on the feeds
Yeah, I
today,
saw that. Yeah,
which interesting.
very
casting.
different actor, but
Yeah.
we'll
It's
we'll
interesting
see.
because it's completely not like the book.
Mm.
Whereas when you look at the films, Alan Rickman specifically, he's described in the book like he appears on the screen.
Yeah,
So we'll see. We're not going to do too much into it right
no,
now.
we'll see.
But
as it goes.
basically, we'll see. There was a thing where someone was saying how they possibly they had a plan for how they're going to keep the kids, because series 1 obviously is going to be year 1,
Yeah.
series 2 year 2, and so on. And how are they going to keep? Well, I think so. How are they going to keep the kids the right age? To make sure that they're filming it so that they stay the same age. But I don't see why that'd be, because they don't want them to grow up too quick.
Yeah,
Because if you're going to do 6 or 7 series and you start with them at a certain age, 6 or 7 years later,
Yeah.
they could look a lot different to what they need to look.
Unless you get
Yeah, that's
older
true.
people who look young to do that. And that also means that you don't have to abide by union rules with minors and children.
I don't know.
They could do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the original film came out in 2001.
But that's for a film,
Yeah.
not for an ongoing
And-
season, and then another season which requires longer days of filming, which is going to be an issue when it comes to younger actors.
It depends. I suppose. Yes, it does, and I suppose it depends how many episodes they do per series. This is going to factor in. So they're not going to do. They're probably if they're going to do 10 episodes. You know. They could quite easily just do a year filming, have a break, come back, do it next year, have a break, come back next year.
Yeah, but when it comes to day-to-days, there's a certain hour limit to what children can do.
But we're not. If they not doing a lot of people now don't do the whole 20 episode series that we used to. It's more 10 episodes, isn't it? Around 10 that they do. So they could spread that out over shorter days and still be okay and do it. I don't know, but it's interesting, like you say, to see what
keep an eye on it.
Just quickly glancing at the screen there, we pretty much, I think, talked very much about most of the things that we're looking forward to and what's coming out next year. We're obviously we're going out now on Christmas Day, so we're very close to New Year as well.
Yeah.
Are we planning any New Year's resolutions for next year or
No?
No. Okay, that was quick, wasn't it?
Watch more geeky stuff, so do better on the quiz.
Yes.
That was the main one.
Oh, speaking of which,
Speaking of the quiz,
how are we going to do the quiz going forward?
Well, next year, because as we've discovered earlier in this show, I lost.
Hooray!
One of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be asking the questions to you two next season. So next series of Showpod, it's going to be Dave versus Mr. Jethro head-to-head on
Make
the
sure you
Geeky
watch
quiz.
a lot of Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Brush up on Superman, lads. It's going to be a fun year.
Superman and your decks of the Enterprise.
That's it. Captain's Quarters, Enterprise D, go.
Decades.
Well done, Mr. Jethro. Straight in there and got it right. He didn't buzz though, so
No, he didn't.
he's got to learn the rules.
Oh,
he's got to learn the rules, Dave. People now are watching thinking, what a bunch of saddos. How did you know that? Why did you know that? And then someone else will point out that just behind Jethro's head is one of the schematics for
I
the
didn't look
Enterprise.
though. I didn't look.
It doesn't have the captain's quarters on that. That is just an external view. But we do have deck by deck, of course, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, so next year that's how the quiz is going to be run.
Okay,
And
that's
we've
going to be
still
interesting.
got, just a reminder, we've still got the forfeit to do. Again, like we said earlier, please let us know what you think you want to see me do as a forfeit.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get back to getting some guests on, special guests.
Yeah, we've had this first year of doing Showpod. The three of us, we've not really had anyone external on.
Yeah,
Not really.
We've
had Gav.
kind of been trying
We've had
to
Gav come in
get this right.
and talk to us.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a couple more people. If
Yeah,
they're not on
lovely.
the sofa or remotely, we're going to do that.
Remote.
So that's
we'll
going to be
sort
fun.
that.
I'm really looking forward to next year. I think
Good.
it's going to be good. It's this year's been
Any resolutions on your part?
resolution. You know what? Last year I talked about resolutions, and what I actually said was I would like to try and sort of eat a bit healthier, just generally get my fitness level up a bit and be a bit healthier. That did not happen at all. It did a bit, but then it kind of drifted off.
Tailed off.
Yeah. So that's one that I would like to try and re-put back into next year. I'd like to try and...
Travel the world.
I'd like to do a bit more getting away. I need to get my sort of work-life balance a bit better and sort of mentally be a lot more happier.
Yeah.
The last bit of this year's been a bit of a bummer for me, and it's not been nice. So I think going into next year, I want to try and
Going the other way.
I need to reset. I think going into next year and really,
reinstall Windows.
Yeah, that sort of thing. It kind of It's I've had the little swirly thing.
Blue screen.
Waiting. We're waiting. Please wait. So yeah, that's just basically be a bit kinder to myself and just try and go into next year a bit more positive. And that's what I want.
Sounds good.
But again, that's more what I'd like to do. In terms of actual New Year's resolutions, I just don't think I'm going to make any, because quite frankly, I'll probably end up not doing them anyway.
Drink more wine.
No, if anything, I need to go the other way and drink less wine. I think that's where the belly's coming from, to be honest. So yeah. But what about you, Dave? Got any for next year? Or are you at that point like me where you just think, just...
Yeah, not really. I mean, like you say, it's always difficult to do the eat and drink healthy, innit? Because the other way's nicer.
Would you like to Chinese after this, lads?
Yeah. Sounds lovely. Pub. So yeah, that sort of thing. Nice to do that. Watch more geeky stuff, like I say. Watch some older stuff that I've not seen yet.
That's non-geeky stuff.
Yeah, it's not
watch some non-geeky stuff as well. Yeah,
because like I say, this year I've watched a few things that I've not seen before, and some non-geeky stuff, and I'm quite enjoying it. So I think,
yeah.
Cool.
Off-brand.
There we go. We will be back in the new year.
Yes.
With a new series later on. But before that, you'll be seeing a video go on regarding the forfeit. And you'll also see a short video, I'm sure, very soon about the new Superman trailer.
Yeah, and of course a Happy New Year's message from us as well, more than likely.
Yes, we'll pop a message on, but just in case we don't, please make sure you have a good New Year. Look after each other. Have a great Christmas. We hope you've all got lots of presents that you've really wanted, and not just socks, smellies, and a set of plates.
Yeah. I hope you've done better than us.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Thank you for all your support this year. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next year.
Merry Christmas.